I do not like cleaning. I do like when things are clean, but not enough to put a lot of energy into it. I'm a double Virgo, and I got all the anxiety and perfectionism and not the clean part. But it's worth it today because we're about to do something exciting, which is launch new products. And the first thing that I want to do is take some official product photos of the new scarves that I'm releasing. I was yapping a lot here, but the audio quality is terrible, so I won't put you through that. But basically, I'm setting up my in-home product shooting studio. Been using something like this for years, ever since I launched my Oracle deck in 2016. And it's not perfect, but it gets the job done. I will say that taking these product photos is one of my less favorite activities. Something I would really like to outsource eventually, but time is of the essence, so we're gonna give it a try. I've done all the ones in the past. I think I can do it. But scarves are a little bit challenging. I definitely do not have natural skills in this. The scarf is proving to be a little bit challenging. It just isn't quite big enough of a backdrop, but I'm gonna try to get creative. So that was very unpleasant, and I don't know that I will ever do it again, but somehow I didn't even take that many photos. I was feeling kind of frustrated with the whole thing. I managed to get 3 perfect photos. So this, and this. So I feel very happy about that. Definitely gonna have someone else do this for me next time, but now I just have to make the listings. It is the next day, and I did manage to get some really good photos out of that shoot. Well, they're not perfect, but they're good enough for what I need them for right now. I honestly can't believe that worked out so well. So today I am launching these scarves. I am about to send an email out to my email subscribers. I actually added them onto my website last night, but I thought I'd show you just a bit of what this process was like. So I got this idea to make some kind of tarot spread cloth probably like a few years ago, maybe even like 3 years ago, because I couldn't find anything that I really liked for my tarot spreads that looked good with my Oracle deck and just any of my tarot. And typically when I can't find something I like, then I want to make it. I think that's just the 1-3 generator in me. But I had a really hard time finding a supplier that could do this print on demand, so I didn't have to carry a lot of stock and handle shipping. And that was also a good quality. Like the first thing I tried was just a terrible quality, and I had it in my mind that silk would be really great. So I kind of put that on the back burner and kept looking for different options sort of in the back of my mind over the last few years. But then I found this company called Art of Wear, W-H-E-R-E, and they have that's actually who did these sweatshirts. So I'm wearing the 5D sweatshirt. More on that later because I also hope to release this soon. But the quality on these was so good. Like the fabric is good, it's made in an ethical factory. They ship to both Canada and the US. So I saw that they had silk scarves, and I came up with kind of a design. I think sort of the first version looked like this. I tested all the different fabrics just to see what I liked the best because I was looking for like a certain feel in my hands. I have touch cognition, so I get a lot of information about the world through my hands, and I'm really sensitive to textiles and fabrics and what I'm using and what I have around me. So I tried all of their different materials, decided on one, which ended up being like the highest end silk. And then I realized, you know, this pattern, I like the idea of this pattern, but I didn't really like how spaced apart all of these icons were, or all these like the symbols from the deck. I also felt like maybe this border was a bit too boring. So in my next iteration, this is a smaller size, but I added a border like this. I think, yeah, this is one of the earlier borders. I may have even like made it bigger in the next one, but then I was like, okay, we're getting somewhere. I was actually inspired by a scarf I saw, like a Louis Vuitton scarf, because really that's sort of what this is like a cosmic logo scarf in a way. In the end, I decided just to do one size, keep it simple. It's this big size that I feel is perfect for a tarot spread. There's really no need to complicate things and have multiple sizes. This, I believe, was my second to last. Yeah, this is my second to last version. I felt like something was a little bit off, and I looked at the Louis Vuitton scarf, and they had put a bit more space between the border and the logos that they had, so I did that, and that's what led to that final version that you see in the photos that I took yesterday. Yeah, this was a project that required a lot of different iterations and waiting in between making a change and having the new one come in so I could look at it, making another change. But honestly, I would say that as a 3-line person in my profile, this works out pretty well for me. It's better for me to just get going and try it out instead of trying to make something perfect right away. It just doesn't work for me. I'll just not do it, basically. Honestly, I think there were even more versions than are right here. They're just like in my closet somewhere. So yeah, it was a lot of trial and error to create these, but I am honestly so happy with how this came out. And yeah, this has been a dream for years, and I'm really excited to have this part of my product line. I've been using it with my Oracle cards and my tarot decks, and I absolutely love it. Thursday. Spent the morning doing a lot of physical product and store housekeeping stuff, so getting everything listed onto Etsy. I already did Squarespace yesterday, and also getting the automatic drop shipping integration set up so that when someone places an order on either of my sites on Etsy or on my webpage, it immediately triggers an order from the manufacturer that's actually printing the scarves. And just figuring out shipping, I can feel that I need to revisit my goals for the month, get clear on where I'm going, and just get back into this subconscious work like I did in my last vlog. I feel like it's been going really well, but for me it definitely goes through cycles where I'm very clear on what I need to do and I really have the energy for that, and so it's good for me to wake up first thing in the morning and just go for it and get started. Otherwise I feel resistance to starting my morning with more reflection, and some days I just don't need that reflection because I know what I'm doing and I've got the energy and I'm going for it. But right now I can tell that I need to revisit just like what my subconscious is believing about certain things, because I can feel some of those kind of knots in there. I can usually feel it in my gut, like a sick feeling or just like a resistance to the flow of life, or just when I get into that place of feeling like I want to make this happen. How do I make this happen? That is not really how I operate as a generator. It's not really how any sacral being operates ultimately, even a manifesting generator. And for us, it's so important to be present to allow that to unfold or for the right inspiration to reach us. So when I'm in that place of wanting to do in order to make something happen, that's when I know that it's time to take a step back. And for me right now, revisit some of the subconscious work. For other people, it may be something else they're working on, but this is what's really helping me right now. So yeah, I'm gonna get into that now.
Ironically, this did not end up feeling very good. It became very clear to me after I did this short hypnosis session that what I really needed was to move out of this more, I guess for lack of a better word, masculine doing energy that I had been in, which is totally fine. I find that I go between this more receptive and this more active energy, and that's a very natural expression of what it means to be a generator or manifesting generator. There are times when we are more still, flowing, waiting for that response, and there's times once we've responded that we're taking action. The key is just to be aware of where your body needs to be in that moment, and I was having a hard time with that transition back into the more receptive place. So I could see that focusing on like my desires and goals for this wasn't what I needed to be doing. and it was probably a time to lay back a little bit and just wait for my next response, just in terms of my focus on like where I wanted to go. I already knew that I had a few things that I was doing that I felt that I had energy for and that I had a response to, like launching my sweatshirts next. But I think I was trying to kind of force myself to feel a certain clarity about something that I just didn't have yet and I just didn't have the energy for. So this was a good learning experience for me to see that sometimes our needs change rather quickly, and the tools that were serving us a few weeks ago aren't serving us anymore, and they may serve us again in the future, and that's okay. But I definitely had a very hard time with this transition. I still have a lot of mind chatter around times when I need to slow down and transition into like a different type of energy, particularly back into the more receptive energy. So I spent the next couple days just feeling kind of down and trying to rest, and honestly battling with a lot of like internal negative thoughts. Even though I could feel that there was wisdom in what my body wanted to do, and ultimately what my body wants to do is always safe. It's just that capitalism, all of these ingrained things and this conditioning that we've received teaches us that that's not true.
So it is Friday. I had to go to the dentist this morning, which was really unpleasant, but I'm back. So I didn't really do a lot last night. I wrote a blog post, which I'm going to share probably tomorrow, that is related to kind of this whole product launch. It's about how to make buying decisions as sacral beings. And this is a question I've gotten a lot, and it's also something I've experimented with a lot in my own life, so it was really effortless to write. I haven't fully decided what to do with my sweatshirts yet, like when to release them, finalizing the colors, but I could do that over the next couple days. I feel a lot of work energy in me, and so I'm really excited to get working on that over the next couple of days. I have a lot of Oracle deck orders to send out today, so I'm probably gonna work on that. But I think the first thing I'll probably do is announce my scarves on Instagram, because I haven't done that at all, just in stories. And yeah, just keep getting these products in front of people. I find that when your audience is made up of generators and manifesting generators, you have to just kind of put things in front of people a lot so that they get a chance to respond to it and decide if it's for them or not, and give the emotional authority people plenty of time to make their decision too. So yeah, I'm gonna get working on the blog, some Instagram posts, and then packaging up the Oracle deck orders. What the heck? Hello. A couple of months ago, I took some photos of the sweatshirts in what is this called? Photo booth. And I really liked how they turned out, just because they're kind of simple and fun and not too overly processed or polished. So I just did that with some of the other ones. And yeah, I think that's the way I'm gonna go. So finally getting these out into the world. I've never like sold any kind of apparel or anything like that, so it's not super clear to me right away how to sort of merchandise them digitally and share them, but I'm just gonna do what feels good to me and hopefully send my first email tonight and get them out there.
The sweatshirts are live on my site.
Hi everyone, so my sweatshirts are out in the world. I just got my hair cut, so I'm very happy to have shedded a lot of that extra hair I was carrying around, but it's definitely a little bit in shock, so it's gonna look weird for a few days. But overall, I'm just very happy to be releasing a lot of things, and releasing in the sense of shedding, but also releasing in the sense of like getting out in the world, because there's something about holding on to a creation, and I feel like I've been holding on to so many long-term creations this year that it's just time to get them out. So I wanted to show you the process of designing these sweatshirts, just because I'm a 1-3 profile and that's a very natural way for me to use my energy. Like my Oracle spread cloths, I really needed to find a manufacturer or printer that had something that I felt was good quality. I don't like introducing bad quality objects into the 3-dimensional world. So I started off by testing out the printer, and it ended up being the same one as the people who did my spread cloths, so Art of Wear. And so I started by just like making a simple design like this just to see. This is called direct to garment printing, which I didn't end up going with. It's just not as bright, but it allows for a lot of colors. It wasn't quite what I was looking for, but I was very impressed with the quality of these, the high cotton content, just the way they didn't pill and how they felt. So I was very pleased to find something like that that was all made in an ethical factory. So this was really exciting, and I knew that this was the direction that I wanted to go in. Then all the design iterations. I mean, I think I started this in like July, but honestly, I started it probably years ago. So I went through a few of these ideas of like having a green, but I didn't really like how it turned out. It just doesn't look very bright, and it didn't look like it would stay on that well. I tried this multicolored situation, which I actually like this a lot. I may consider revisiting this at some point, but as you can see, the blue doesn't show up, like all the letters weren't the right color. My process involves a lot of trial and error, so there was a lot of that went on with this. Then I started to think maybe I don't just want letters, maybe I want some actual designs. It's kind of more like the art that I create. So then I started playing around with something like this. I knew this wasn't it. This was just kind of something I threw together to get an idea. I was like, okay, maybe that's the direction to go in, but honestly, thinking back, I was kind of forcing something. I think that's like an undefined heart thing rearing its head. So that kind of turned into this design. I knew I would have a lettered one as well that just said New Paradigm. And then this design, which this one required a lot of iterations, moving the letters around, moving the design up and down on the body, making it round. There's just a lot of that went on. And trying all these things on the back. A lot of these had stuff on the back, but in the end, I decided that I really just wanted to keep it simple. So I settled on this vinyl gold. I love how the vinyl looks on these. It's so shiny, it feels so durable, and it was just exactly what I was going for with bold. So I ended up going with this gold New Paradigm on a few colors. And then at the very last minute, this idea of doing the 5D, because I really loved how big the letter and a number looked, and it's just really bold. So I decided to do this in a silver and a couple of colors. And then the complete surprise at the end was this pink. This is so neon and beautiful and like orangey kind of. It's just, I really like it. This really surprised me. It's just very cool. So I kind of threw these in at the end and it just felt right. There were even other iterations of this from years ago when I started getting these ideas. I think maybe last year I tested a company, but I didn't like the quality of the sweatshirt. So yeah, it's been a long road to get here, and I'm just really happy that these are out in the world and they're a thing, and the orders are already printing. They're doing a really good job of printing them and shipping them out very quickly. So yeah, overall I'm just very pleased with how all of this worked out. I'm not gonna lie, after the eclipse last week, I definitely felt very kind of out of sorts, and I haven't had the best perspective or mindset on things. So I've just been trying to take it easy and take care of myself. I just really feel like I'm shedding a lot of things right now, including just ways of thinking, ways of being. And sometimes when that happens, it's just like this big purge of these really uncomfortable things have to come out. And so I'm okay with that. They're just feelings. I'm holding space for them and trying not to attach too much to them, because I have a completely open solar plexus. Feelings will come in, feelings will go, and it's not that useful for me to really like delve into them too much. I'm just observing and being. It is just very dark this time of year. So yeah, definitely been a rough few days since, or just like a rough week, I guess, in that sense. But I also feel really optimistic for everything that's coming. I hope to start another vlog right away, because there's just a lot that's happening next week. and a lot of things that are happening in my business moving forward, and just I feel some real metamorphosis coming on. So thank you for being here with me to see me launch these products. I hope you enjoy them, and it brings me so much joy to see them heading all over the world to all the wonderful people. So I so appreciate that. I hope you've had some meaningful revelations in this eclipse as well, and that you're having a good end to your calendar year. I will see you next time.